This happened in 1970. There was a body with leather shoes in the ice. The science expedition team staff saw it. They claimed in fright, "What on earth is it?" A team member quickly took out an ice chisel and proceeded to break the ice. Not long after, they have dug up the ice containing the body. They used a snow cart to pull the ice block up. It was surveyed that there was a missing ship here 65 years ago. This man probably was a passenger on that ship. This provided more information on the man, who has been asleep in the iceberg for 65 years. This great discovery was obviously very important to the scientific expedition team. Therefore, they called a helicopter to bring this ice block to the base and start searching. Surprisingly, after the ice was melted, the man miraculously revived. The scientists immediately organized a national press conference about this significant scientific discovery. According to the investigation, the date that this pair of shoes was manufactured was the same as the date that the ship went missing 65 years ago. It was very likely that the ship crashed into the iceberg, and the iceberg was covered by glycerin, which helped him survive. His family was watching this breaking news on TV. Nobody believed it. The protagonist, Hubert, joked, "It's so unlucky for somebody who must call him grandpa." At that time, a policeman suddenly came to their house, gave him a letter saying that the mayor wanted to meet him. It could be a good news. Hubert happily went to the mayor's office. The mayor said the scientists have tested the frozen man's DNA and found out that the frozen man was from their city. This man was his wife's grandfather. Nice, he got thrown cold water in the face. Getting thrown cold water in the face, his facial expressions were quickly gone. Hubert went home to inform his wife, whose name was Edme, even blaming her that why she still had an alive grandpa. Actually, Edme has never met her grandpa since she was born, so she was really excited when she got this news. She was curious about this man. Hubert was skeptical about it, so he ran upstairs to check the picture of his wife's grandpa, and then drove to the hospital to confront. The doctor showed the frozen man to her. The moment that Edme saw her grandpa, she was about to go crazy. "My grandpa has become a man of the Stone Age. Everyone would freak out if we left him at home." After the doctor helped the grandpa shave his beard, he looked exactly the same as in the picture when he was young. Edme changed her mind quickly and wanted to bring him home. So Edme asked the professor if she could bring him home, but the professor didn't agree with it. He said her grandpa belonged to the country. His body was truly a miracle in medical field, so the country needed a comprehensive study about his body. Edme persistently wanted to bring him home. As a result, she got asked to go out. The couple went home without giving up, calling everywhere for help. Finally, they found a maintenance staff of cargo aircrafts to help them carry the grandpa. Under their help, they successfully got the grandfather out of the plane. When they were still close, the police found something strange, so they sent a big team to chase them. In an urgent situation, they had to hide in a nearby church. They changed their clothes into pastor clothes and were about to escape from the back door. But the church was surrounded by police. The professor also came to the church, but they pretended to be calm, like nothing happened. The professor saw them, so he came to ask. Hubert was scared, so the truth was revealed. The grandpa accidentally fell on the ground, but this fall woke Paul up. This was the first time that he could open his eyes after the ice melted. He opened his eyes and saw Edme in front of him. He called Edme mom because she looked the same as his mom. Edme was surprised. He's been sleeping for 65 years anyways, so she would just call him darling in order not to shock him. It was impossible for the professor to stop them from taking their grandpa home due to that reaction of Edme. Then he came up with an idea. Hopefully Edme kept pretending to be Paul's mom. Also decorated the house with the 60s style, so that he wouldn't be shocked. Even the streets around the house were arranged like the 60s. The cars were also replaced by horse wagons and rickshaws. Each member of the family had its own role to play for this story. Hubert's son, Edouard, also gave up his maid for Paul. Hubert used fake beard and pretended to be Paul's dad, but then he got kicked out of the house by Paul. Actually, in Paul's memory, his dad left his mom. It was clearly difficult for Hubert to stay in this family. Then Hubert decided to be someone different. He took off his fake beard, bringing fresh beautiful flowers to chase after Edme. Due to mom's happiness, Paul has been watching their every single movement. Knowing that Hubert truly treated mommy well, he eventually accepted them. Edouard's fiancé's family came to visit today. Paul has fallen in love with Edouard's girlfriend, so he wanted to have Sophie as a girlfriend. He decided to chase after Sophie, writing love letter for her every day, and then he read them for his mom and asked to help him check if the content was okay. The conversation was heard by Hubert hiding under the bed. He was pissed off when seeing his son's girlfriend was about to be stolen. Hubert stopped the butler from delivering Paul's love letter on the way. This man has frozen for 65 years, and now wanting to steal his grandson's girlfriend away. The following day, Hubert gave his son the love letter and told him to read it for his girlfriend. Once the girlfriend listened to the love letter, she gave Edouard a kiss, but Paul saw it and got mad. He flew from his room through the window and took away the love letter from Edouard's hands. Immediately exposed the truth that Edouard has stolen his love letter. Seeing that his son's fiancée was about to be taken by his wife's grandpa, Hubert got pissed off, running downstairs to tell the truth to Paul, saying that he was over 65 years old now. It was not the same as his memory a long time ago. Paul was amazed, thinking that Hubert was just being crazy. In order to prove it, Hubert was about to take out the TV hidden in the closet to show Paul, but he got stopped by the professor. This was driving Hubert crazy. He directly running out of the room. Everyone saw that and started chasing him. Paul picked up the key on the floor and tried to unlock the closet that contained the TV. He turned the TV on according to the instruction booklet. There were all kinds of high-tech scientific aircraft on the TV. The era in his memory also had no products of high-tech science like this. He now believed it. Sophie walked from behind when he was totally shocked. She told Paul she would go with him to find the time that has missed. During the time with each other, they both have fallen in love with each other deeply. Despite being stopped from the family, they still wanted to spend the rest of their lives with each other. So both of them dressed like bride and groom walking into the church. This intergenerational love story has attracted the attention of the media. On the other hand, Hubert couldn't change anything, so he went to find the scientists, asked them to use the freezing technique to freeze him, and told them to wake up him after 50 years so that he could fight against Paul. If there were a freezing technique and brain transplantation in your era, which one would you choose? Eternal body or eternal consciousness?